Hey everyone, Pastor George here with Mailbag Friday, and I'm finishing up the last of the questions that Bill Hiller sent me. And this one is also a really good one. So, again, thanks, Bill, for giving me 3 solid weeks of content. Everyone else needs to step up their game, quite frankly. And the question he had for me was regarding Judas Iscariot's betrayal of Jesus. One of the Gospels states that the devil entered Judas. Basically, the devil made him do it. And does this absolve Judas from blame? On a related note, if Judas had asked for forgiveness rather than hanging himself when he had received forgiveness, would he have, when he have, I think maybe, wait, if Judas had asked for forgiveness rather than hanging himself when he had, I think maybe it's like, would he have received? Okay. Sorry about that, Bill. I got a little messed up at the end of your question there. So, yeah, good questions, both of them. So let's actually look at the passage real quick, or at least the verse, because it's one verse in the Gospel of John, and it's in John chapter 13, and this is right before Jesus washes his disciples' feet. So I'll read the verse before it, and then I'll just read 1 and 2. So it says, "Now before the feast of the Passover, when Jesus knew that his hour had come to depart out of this world to the Father, having loved his own who were in the world, he loved them to the end. During supper, when the devil had already put it into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him." So at this point, we have Judas having the devil, right? The devil had already put it into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. Now, this is what Bill is trying to get at. He's like, well, is Judas to blame here if the devil is the one making him do it? And that's a really good question. I would still say yes. And this has to come down to how we understand free will and things like that, right? And how much stock you put into spiritual warfare in general. I'm not very charismatic, so it's hard for me to comment on the devils and angels and stuff like that. I see things as either being that yes, the devil did put it into the heart of Judas, but Judas wanted it there, right? He was not forced to do any of these things. Judas wanted these things. A lot of people see free will as a choice to do a bunch of different options, right? But I actually see free will as doing what you want to do. And so if Judas wanted to betray Jesus, as indeed it seems he does in all of the Gospels, then this is just John's way of saying that, yes, this Judas wanted to betray Jesus, and the want to do this came from the devil, but Judas was very much involved in the decision, right? And that's kind of how he did this. As to your second question, which is also a good one, if Judas had asked for forgiveness rather than hanging himself, would he have received forgiveness? And I think that the answer from a Christian perspective should be yes, he would have, right? I mean, I think it's always important to note that right before this, Jesus said he loved them to the very end, right? And he also washes Judas's feet, right? Judas doesn't leave until after his feet have been washed, and he goes. I think that he would have. Judas did not, so it lives in the realm of what if. But yes, I believe that if we are to take the teachings of Jesus seriously, then anyone, no matter how serious their crime, even deicide, killing God in the case of Judas, right, or playing, being an accessory to it, would be forgiven, because in the end, we all put God on the cross, right? So if we can be forgiven, then Judas can. And I think that should have real implications for how we think about forgiveness, right? We can think about forgiveness for some of the like not so bad stuff that people do, but when it comes to really bad stuff, we really struggle with forgiving people, even people who haven't wronged us personally, right? And I think that maybe this thought experiment about Judas serves as a really good example of how we can think about forgiving people who do terrible, terrible things. There's a movie that came out that talks about that. Maybe I'll talk about it sometime in the future for Culture Thursdays or something. But those were good questions, Bill. Anyone else who has a question, please send it to my email. You know where to find it on the website. If I remember, I'll put it in the link below in the box. Have a wonderful weekend, everyone. I'll see you for fellowship on Sunday. Take care and peace out.